Welcome back, weebs and gamers. This is EIJI here, back with some more deck profiles. Today I'm going to be doing it on my updated slime deck. After Nationals, I played it for Nationals last year. I sort of put the deck down for a while, mainly because, of course, it did get a Banlist hit, and I just wanted to, play other things because I had been playing slime a lot and preparing for Nationals. So, but now I've decided to pick it back up again. Started experimenting with some new builds to sort of, replace the banned cards. And yeah, I think I've come to a pretty consensus list for the most part. There is quite a few different combinations you can play in Slime. There's some other good level 1 combos you can play, or you can play the yellow event package with the 3 rules Rimuru. So there's quite a few options that you do have, but this is the way that I decided to take it. I still for sure wanted to keep it 8 pants, so that sort of like ruled out most other combos. Because I really do think this deck really benefits from 8 pants, just being able to loop Muron combo as much as possible. And so, yeah, so I'm playing the new level 0 pants combo. I have been liking it quite a bit. Obviously, it's not quite as good as the Shizu level 1 band combo, of course. But, it does its job, and it is still pretty good. So, yeah, we'll get right into it here. So, first card we're playing is, this is a new card. I wasn't playing it in my old build. It's basically just like a 3k center runner. But what it does, it has normally center runners are like 35, so it has 500 less power, but it does have a secondary effect where if you cancel the damage from this being attacked, you can just put it to your stock for free. So it just gives you like free extra stock sometimes. And I do like it that it is blue, because it gives you like a little bit extra blue, because now that you taken out like the Shizu combos and Masks events and some other stuff, so you're a little bit lower on the blue count now, so having this really helps keep your blue count to be a decent amount. So next we have 3 copies. This is the new pants combo. So yeah, so it's basically at the encore phase, if you have the new pants in play, you can send the pants to mill up to 3 cards, and then salvage equal to how many Demon Continent characters you mill. So, you can just, if you're almost decked out or whatever you want to do, you can just mill 1 to just salvage level 1, 2 to salvage level 2, or just go all 3. I usually, depending on what my hand is, I usually try to always go for at least 2, because if you do just mill 2 characters, you can just get back like a Muron, which is probably what you want anyway, most of the time. So yeah. But yeah, it's also it gives a center character just permanent 1500, which is pretty nice too, especially with your the Bonder card. It's 106k, so if you have it in center, it becomes a 1075, which is kind of nice. And it does combo really well with the center runner as well too. So you can open this on your left or right side, and then this, and then it's 3k, and then it can also just run to center and become 45. So yeah, it becomes pretty hard for your opponent to out sometimes. So yeah, that's the new pants combo. Then we'll just get on to some more old stuff. So of course we're just gonna play 3 copies of the Ricky. So this is just like a really super standard Ricky. Can't go wrong with that. But it is yellow, which is good because you're really short on yellow without this card, and you do need all 3 colors for Benimaru effect. So in your level zone. So you pretty much have to play this card. Slime doesn't really have a good replacement for this card, I would think, other than like maybe the Shuna double R, which is like an aqua kind of effect. But yeah, just most people just tend to play this card, and yeah, I can see why. It also has like a funny bounce effect that can come up sometimes. You used to be able to use it on Luna because Luna was counted as a level 0, but yeah, now Luna is kind of banned, so, or well, banned some more, so it's probably not going to get played as much, but it is there. So then next we have 2 of the old Brainstorm from the set 1. So now that the hexproof combo is banned, essentially, so you can't, so there's really no point in playing the blue Brainstorm anymore, because it's just like a search Brainstorm with like no other effect. I'd rather just play a Salvage Brainstorm, which is just better, and also has the -500, which can't come up sometimes. So yeah, I'd just rather play Salvage Brainstorm than Search Brainstorm, pretty much. That's really the only decision for that. Next we have 2 of the Veldora. So he's just like a helmet card. You just sack himself and discard a card to salvage anything. Those have become very prevalent in WEISS nowadays. I think back in the day, most decks didn't really play that type of effect. But now in modern WEISS, you just have like a surplus of so many cards most of the time that even this is technically like a -1. It doesn't matter because as long as you get like the exact card that you want at the time, it just allows you to just do a lot of dumb stuff a lot of the time. You can play like a lot more 1-ofs because of it too. It's also just like a 3500 beater turn 1, which is kind of nice, so it just gives you more attackers. But it is green, so that's why we don't play a lot, because you don't want to play a lot of green cards because you need yellow, blue, red by the end game. And then next is just like a bunch of 1-ofs. So this deck, you play a lot of 1-ofs because you have a lot of like search power and salvage and all the kinds of stuff. So yeah, I feel this is one of those decks where you can get away with playing like a lot of just 1-ofs and it works perfectly fine. So we'll just start with so we got 1 climax swap. I mean, this is just like a standard climax swap with top check, so it's pretty much the best option. 1 drop search. Also has level swap, which comes up very often. I really like this card that it just has free come and play level swap. It's so helpful. I think this deck would be drastically worse if this card didn't exist, in my opinion. Like, this card has helped so many times. Not even just because of like you miss color. Like, a lot of times you can get color, but sometimes you might have to put like a level 3 in your level zone or something like that to like fulfill color. And you would really prefer to not have level 3s in your level zone. So just being able to like swap this out for like a level 0 or whatever just helps a lot. Next we have one of this Millium. So this is just like a bomb, and it's also the it's like a pay 3 stock shuffle effect. They pretty much don't make these anymore because I think Bushi just realized they were kind of too good. So now, whenever they do, now, because stock swaps are usually only on level 3, but a few sets for a while there, back in like 2020-ish range, they started printing these where they're like level 0 stock swaps, and like, yeah, I think Bushi just realized they're too good, so they stopped making them. But you can still play it in here, so might as well, right? And then we have 1 copy of this Millium. So this is just like a send a card from hand to stock kind of card, so it just gives you like extra stock sometimes if you need it. And also is pay 1, sack itself to check 4, add a character. So yeah, pretty cool. Just like a nice filter card. Gives you more stock sometimes. Next we have 1 copy of this the TD Slime. This is always like a backbone card of this deck. Like, whenever you see Slime, you'll always see at least like probably 1 or 2 copies of this card. It's just like a double filter card. It's so good. And then the fact that you're playing 8 pants just makes it even better, because you always have like pants in hand. Usually you can just ditch, salvage a climax, or salvage a character or whatever. So yeah, it's a super good card. Next we have 1 copy of this Free Fresh card. So in my old list, I was just playing 2 copies of the TD Slime, which again is perfectly fine. Like, that card is amazing. But I decided to test this out. So it's just like a come and play, pay 2, refresh your deck kind of card. And also has like a secondary effect, but you don't use it because you don't play the event for it. So, but yeah, it's a good card. You know, it's just free fresh. And then last is this card. So this is like a kind of spicy tech card. So I actually was considering playing this like back last year in the old build anyway. But I just could never really find room for it. But now, because you have like slightly more room, I decided to test this out. And yeah, this card helps so much. Like, so it's just a come and play, shuffle 2 cards back into your deck. Well, 2 characters. And it gets the effect of, it doesn't lose soul penalty when you side. So it's also just on attack, gives something 15 besides itself. So this card really helps late game when you can just like shuffle back some level 2s or whatever, so you get better hits with Benimaru. Or I've had it where like sometimes you'll just be out like a lot of Mirons like by the time you get to like level 1 or whatever, and so you can just play this, shuffle back some Mirons, and then just play the Bonder to search for it, because it searches from your deck. So yeah, there's just been a lot of times where this comes up. Even like the side attacking effect could come up, right, as like a decent kind of effect that you might want to use. So yeah, just overall really good card there. I'm playing like 20 zeros, so you do play quite a lot of zeros. But usually from all the top checks and stuff late game, it doesn't become too much of a problem for Benimaru, I mean. So then moving on to level 1, so now we're just playing 3 of the Bonder. We don't play any level 1 combo anymore, so I think in my old build I was maybe playing like 2 of this, but I decided to up it to 3 now. You could even play 4, honestly, like 4. I would not be worried if you played 4 at all. Like it's a very good card, but I do think just 3 is kind of generally fine. Especially with the new Pants back row. As long as you have this in center, it becomes a 1075, so it becomes slightly harder to out. But yeah, it's mainly just here to search Miron, and then it helps you get unstuck if you cancel at level 1, because you can just essentially it allows you to like potentially clock yourself 3 times at level 1. So even if you were like 1-4, you could still level up. So you could go clock Encore this, and then clock draw for turn, and then play a Ricky. So I've even done that before, so it does come up. So yeah, just amazing card, just overall consistency. So then some more one-ofs, so we're just playing 1 Potion Rimuru Slime. This helps you just get some extra stock over the course of the turn, or over the course of the match. And then also does have like pay to rest heal, so if you do want to use that like late game, if you just have some excess stock, it is kind of nice. And then 1 copy of the Bonder for the Dragonoid Millium level 3. So this card makes that Dragonoid Millium way better. Like, it was already like a pretty good card back in the day from set 1. But this card, just being able to bond to it, has top check 2, gives it extra power and stock. It's just like super, super good. Yeah, I would always play at least 1 copy of this card. And last is a counter. So normally in the old deck you didn't play any counters at level 1 because you always had just like Shizus were like weak as hell at like 4k or whatever, so it didn't really matter. But now with the Bonder and the center effect where it's 1075, like you could actually have counter in that lane to like deny stuff, which is kind of nice. And this is just a Leafa counter, so Leafa counter is always like pretty good anyway. So yeah, decided to play 1 copy of that counter. This deck does play quite a few counters as well, because now that you don't have like the global 2k kind of like hexproof combo back rows, I find just like playing a little bit more counters just helps make up the difference. And being able to just like, you know, search counters and then just use them right away is also pretty good too. So yep, moving on to level 2. So yep, of course we just have 4 copies of the Miron. This card is still busted as hell. It's basically Alice from SAO, except it just searches instead of salvages. And arguably, I think this card is better. It is better than Alice at level 2. Let's be real. The only difference was that Alice you could play at level 1, so that's why it was like way better. But yeah, this card, in my opinion, especially when we had the hexproof, was just like a better card at level 2. Yeah, it just helps you just salvage, or I mean search, gets your stock back. If you cancel, it just becomes like even better because you can just like loop combo. You play 8 pants, you probably have another one. Then we have just 1 copy of this support, so this is sort of like the new support you just kind of play in place of the banned Shuna card. So this is just a global 1k, and then when you play a climax you can give someone 2k. So that does kind of come up because your Millium does actually need to reverse the clock kick, so like you could need like the extra 2k pump. It could matter. And it's global 1k, you know, can't go wrong. It's pretty good. And then we just have 3 counters. So we just have 1 copy of this. So this is like a neg 1 soul counter, and also a sack counter. So it just helps you like dodge effects if they need to reverse, or you know, if you just want to minus 1 soul something, you know, might come up. And then we have the Troll Ramorous +6 soul counter. So it just gives your opponent's character +6 soul when they attack. So you know, as long as they're attacking for, you know, 3 or 4, it's gonna be like 9 or 10 damage. So you're gonna cancel that for sure. And then just 1 copy of the anti-change counter, the Rimuru anti-change. So yeah, just good card. Then moving on to level 3. So we just have 3 copies of the Benimaru. So this is like your main finisher. So it's not a climax combo. It just requires you to have red, yellow, blue experience, and it's just on attack, pay one, ditch one. Well, ditch a character and reveal the top card of your deck, and then burn them for that level +1. So the main thing with this card is that it's not a Musashi where it doesn't actually mill. It just reveals it. So which is really good. So you can like use the Bonder or other top checks to like check your top and see what it is, and then you can you know, just make sure you get the burns properly. And then you don't have to worry about like milling them or anything like that. You could just attack pretty much. So yeah, really good. You don't really want to play 4 though. I have found that like sometimes this card can be a little inconsistent. So yeah, or if you just reveal a 0, it's only like burn 1, which isn't really that good. So yeah, I do think 3 is the correct number. I was playing 4 in my old build, but I think now 3 is probably the correct number. And then we have 2 copies of the Dragonoid Millium. This card is amazing. It just come and play top check. If it's a Demon Continent, burn 1. And also, now that you're not playing any events whatsoever, no mask events, this card it technically becomes a little bit more consistent because you don't have to worry about hitting any events. I mean, usually mask events went to memory when you played them anyway, so, but still, now you don't have to worry about that. You play 0 events whatsoever, so as long as it's not a climax, you're always just going to get the burn 1, and it's on attack, or on reverse, you get to pay 3 and just claw kick them. So it's like a 3 instances of damage, because it's ping 1, your attack damage, and then also a claw kick for 1. So yeah, just absolute amazing card. Then we just have 1 copy of this Shuna early play. So it's just like an early play heal. And if you have 4 or more, just like a, you know, good consistent early play. You don't really need to play more than 1 of this because your main game plan is just Mirons. I mean, if you could just field 3 Mirons in combo, you don't even really want to play this. This is actually more for like the off chances of where like you cancel at level 2, and you can just like play an early play and just get a heal at level 2 on the second turn. But like usually your first turn you just want to play Mirons. You don't even want to play this. So yeah, you just don't go 1 of. And then we just play 1 copy of the Bouncer Hero King guy. So this is like the only bounce card that Slime has. So you're pretty much forced to play it if you want to play some things to like out your opponent's cards. I don't want to deal with any like anti-burn or anti-shenanigans whatsoever. I just want to like get that shit out of here. So yeah, I always want to play this. And it does have like, you can like pay 1 to give something like soul and stuff. So you know, you could like side or whatever niche scenarios. And then the last card is 1 copy of the Shion card. So this is like a wombo, super huge like burn effect card. So on attack, you pay 2, ditch 2, and pay out all the rest of your stock. It's kind of weirdly, but like, yeah, as long as you attack with it like last and just like pay 2, ditch 2, and have no more stock, it doesn't matter. And then to burn them for 4. And then also has the cancel burn effect. So like if its damage is canceled, you can ping 1. So and that effect applies to both instances of its burn damage and attack. So like if you burn them for 4 and they cancel it, then you can just ping them for 1. Or if you burn them for 4 and they take it, but then they cancel your attack's damage, you can still ping for 1. So yeah, just gives you that extra boost of like damage output that I find that like sometimes if you just had like fielded like a triple Benimaru, sometimes it might fail. Like, you know, might only get like burn 1s or something. So having like 2 Benimarus in this, or 2 Benimarus and Millium is just better, I feel. So yeah, yep, good card. And then finally is just the climaxes. So we have 4 copies of the new pants, the Orc Strategy Meeting, which is kind of funny because me and my friends have been joking about how the new Slime season is just like meeting simulator. It's just like 5 episodes of meetings and then like 1 episode of action. I mean, it's fine. It's Slime. I mean, I knew there was going to be a lot of talking, so you know, it is what it is. But yeah, that's my updated Slime deck. I do think this is probably the best way to go, or at least just because I do really like 8 pants, and I didn't really want to change it too much to like play like door level 1 combo or anything like that. So yeah. But yeah, if that's it, if you like the video, guys, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and this is EIJI'S signing out.